Welcome to the Stop Over Drinking and Start Living podcast, where high-achieving, goal-oriented rebel women come to learn how to live a vibrant and fulfilling life without requiring alcohol to get through it. No labels, no judgments, no saying you'll never drink again. Just real proven methods to help you stop rebelling against yourself with alcohol so you can drink less and do more. I'm your host, Angela Mascenik. Let's dig in. Welcome to episode 285, Looking Beyond Your Current Discomfort. Well, hello. Welcome back to the podcast. And I just want to tell you so many thank yous for all of your love and comments and emails and texts around Edie Girl. We are all feeling so much better, and not that there was a problem with how we were feeling before, but we are feeling a little bit lighter around here, and we recognize that we made the right decision for little Edie. And I just appreciate all of your sentiments and thoughts and messages around it. So thank you. If you haven't listened to that podcast episode, it was just last week's. It was episode 284. And I shared how we were experiencing our loss and grief around our sweet old Edie girl, who we had for about 7 years in our lives. And so, time helps. And here we are a week later, and I feel like another year has passed, honestly. And what we have been doing as a family in the summertime, every day, it's big stuff. Last night I took Sparrow's my oldest, 14, going into high school in the fall, and I took Sparrow to see a premiere of a show called Breaking New Ground. It's on Max. If you have Max, I highly recommend that you check it out. Robert Hartwell is the star of the show and executive producer, but Robert Hartwell is a gay black man who bought a 200-year-old home in the Berkshires of Massachusetts back in June of 2020. So if you can remember back in June of 2020, we are at the beginning of our global pandemic. George Floyd had just been murdered. We were big into Black Lives protests and just highlighting, this division in our country. And Robert Hartwell, as a single gay black man, bought this old historic home that was built on the backs of his ancestors in June of 2020. And he shared a post about it. He paid for this old house in cash, and this house was in terrible disrepair. And he shared that post on social media, and it went viral. And he now has a TV show that's airing literally in 2 days on Max called Breaking New Ground. And it's a home renovation show, but it goes way beyond that. It just highlights, him and his ancestry and him owning his space as a black man and so many more. So I know Robert Hartwell. I've met him through the coaching world over the years, and I've followed this journey and path, and I've met him several times. Well, anyway, he's actually from Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina. And I took Sparrow, my oldest, to his premiere of the first episode. He had a tour, or he's on a tour right now, of major cities in the U.S., sharing the story, sharing the first episode before it goes live on Max, and being interviewed and, engaging with people around this very awesome topic and highlighting somebody that looks different than what we've seen in shows like this before. And I've taken my kids to see him. Actually, he was a choreographer, artistic director of a musical, Sister Act. It came to Raleigh, and I took my kids to see him and they got to meet him for that musical. And then, so I thought it would be cool if I took my oldest, who's really into theater and art, back to this premiere and to meet him again. And it was nothing short of amazing. And he just shared his story. His brother interviewed him on stage after the first episode that we watched together in the group at the theater. And it was just really, really special. Sparrow actually sketched a picture of him on stage and gave it to him. And he was just so sweet and loving. And we got to get our pictures with him afterwards. And it was just, I wanted to show Sparrow an example of somebody who's a little bit different than us, different than the norm, being successful in the arts. And he's very inspiring. He loves youth and he loves inspiring young people because he was a young person who was granted a lot of opportunities through scholarships and mentorships, and people helped him get to where he is today. And I just wanted to help influence Sparrow a little bit, and seeing that come to fruition in somebody who's worked really hard. So anyway, you guys should all check it out. It's on Max. It premieres on June 27th, and it's called Breaking New Ground. It's a beautiful, beautiful story. So anyway, that's what we did last night. And I actually wanted to record this podcast episode last week called Looking Beyond Your Current Discomfort. And I had to talk about Edie instead, about processing loss and grief. So I wanted to revisit this topic today. And I think even just kind of integrating the story of Robert Hartwell and my clients and my own experience in life is, whenever we have a goal to accomplish something that we don't have right now. In Robert's situation, it was, restoring this historic home that 200 years ago he wouldn't have been allowed to own, right? His ancestors were made to build it. Like, how crazy is that, right? Like, he had to look beyond the discomfort that it was going to take to create what he created. My clients who want to stop over drinking, they have to look beyond the discomfort that it's going to take to do the work to stop over drinking, right? If you want to, gain a college education, you have to look beyond what it's going to take in those 4 or 5 years to get that college education. If you want to build a home, if you want to buy a home, if you want to start a business, if you want to lose weight, if you want to run a marathon, if you want to, get a divorce or work through a difficult relationship, you have to see the bigger picture. You have to look beyond the current discomfort that you're in. If you have a problem that you want to solve, you have to see the outcome. Otherwise, it's really hard to change. And so a lot of times people, want to join my programs, or maybe they're considering it, but they really have a hard time looking beyond the current issue. So sometimes that current issue is money. Sometimes that current issue is maybe there's a spouse or a partner or a friend group or a family group that drinks, and it's really hard for them to see beyond them changing their own relationship with alcohol because it surrounds them in their life. Maybe it's looking beyond the failures that they've had trying to change this for themselves in the past. So I just want you to know, like, whatever decision you're faced with right now, whatever goal that you have that's in front of you to decide if you want to do it or not, I want to invite you to look 6 months, 1 year, 2 years down the line and think about what it is that you actually want. What is the outcome that you hope to have by making this decision? Whatever it is. I'm talking about changing your relationship with alcohol, right? But it could be, paying for your kids' college. It could be, buying a new car. It could be building a house, doing a construction loan. It could be, losing weight. It could be anything, okay? Anything. I want you to fast forward. Forget about the discomfort that you are in right now. Really just table that. And I want you to take a minute and think beyond the discomfort that you're in. And think about the outcome that you can have. And when you do that and you give yourself a few minutes to just visualize the outcome that you want and tell yourself you can have that outcome, there's nothing stopping you from this outcome. Okay? The biggest obstacle that we have is letting our own mind get in the way, our own fears get in the way, our own limiting beliefs get in the way. But really, you can have the outcome that you think about. It might take you a while to get there. It might be expensive. It might make you need to change a lot of things in your life, right? You might have to start saying no to a lot of different things and completely turn things upside down, but you can have that. whatever it is that you're hoping for right now. Okay, it might take some work, it might take some failures, it might take some frustration, it might take some emotional pain. Okay, but you can have the outcome that you want. You really can. If I can change my relationship with alcohol after 20 plus years of over drinking and being raised in an alcoholic home, where I was highly influenced to believe that alcohol made you more fun, more interesting, and it solved all of your problems, or that you would be a stick in the mud if you didn't drink, and that you should just drink to loosen up, like all of it was influenced for me and programmed the way I was thinking about alcohol because of the way I was raised. And if I can change my relationship with alcohol, even with that programming from a very young age, from the time I was born until really I didn't even know about this programming until I started doing this work at 40 years old, I promise you that you can have what you may know that I have right now. I have 100% freedom around alcohol. I don't think about it. I don't wish I could drink it. I don't feel like I'm missing out around it. I 100% believe that my life is 1,000 times, if not 1,000,000 times better without alcohol. Because my mind isn't thinking about it, and I know how to think about things that I want to accomplish in a new way. I know how to feel my feelings. I know how to go deeper in my relationships. I know how to set goals for myself. I know how to feel discomfort in achieving those goals because of the work that I did initially through life coaching on my relationship with alcohol. Working on my relationship with alcohol set me up to have the strength and the emotional capacity to go after my dreams in my life. Okay? And so I just want you to think about that for a second. If you want the lifestyle that I have, if you're inspired by my lifestyle, if you're inspired by the people that I have on my podcast, some of my client interviews that I've had, some of the testimonials that I've shared, you have to be willing to believe that you can have that. And you have to see and visualize your own life looking like that. And you have to be very clear and detailed about what it is that you want. So there's an exercise I would love it if you did. It's just a future exercise. I want you to visualize the outcome that you want to have. Okay, so maybe you write this down on a piece of paper. Maybe you make a vision board. Maybe you cut out some pictures of a lifestyle that you want that doesn't include over drinking on the regular. And I want you to describe that to yourself. Write it on a piece of paper. Visualize it. Make a mood board on your Instagram or Pinterest. Visually see and think about what this looks like for yourself. And then decide that you want it and that you're going to go after it. This is looking beyond the current discomfort. Okay? A lot of times you guys are making decisions to not pursue something based on the current discomfort that you are in. So I was talking to one of my clients recently about investing into the transformation program that I had been talking about recently, which is full, by the way. I'm so excited to kick that off next week. So if you're interested in doing that, please let me know. Anyway, it was an investment for them, and I had to talk to them about that investment and help them look at it, right? So it's an investment into your life, but that investment pays off, right? Because it might sting a little bit every month to pay for it, but that's just a temporary discomfort to get to the outcome that you want to have, right? That discomfort of paying or investing into something that is, a significant investment isn't going to last forever. Just like your urges won't last forever, and your chatter around alcohol won't last forever, and the way you feel about yourself when you overdrink won't last forever. Once you decide that you're going after the outcome that you want in the future, right? So you have to hold the vision that you want, and you have to see it clearly every single day to be willing to go through the discomforts that you're going to have to go through to get to that outcome. Because anything new that we don't have, it's going to have its obstacles. It's going to have its discomforts, right? Creating new habits, changing the way we think about things, changing the way we react to things, being willing to evaluate your failures so that you can learn something. All of that's uncomfortable, but it's temporary. It's the path that you get to the place that you want to go. And it's not a success only journey. You're going to be stumbling along most of the time and feeling awkward. And, especially most of my clients are, middle-aged, and, they've been doing these things for many, many years and thinking the same thoughts for many, many years. And so to be willing to walk through that and go on a journey, it's going to be interesting, and it's going to be hard at times. And it's also going to be super amazing and super fulfilling at other times. But in the end, if you can hold on to that goal that you want and you can see it clearly and make your decisions based on what you want and not what you currently are experiencing, you will always be on the right path. Okay? So I posted recently that fear isn't a good strategy of making decisions. So don't make a decision because you're scared that you won't do it. Like, that's not a really good way to make decisions. Our fear is a natural response, to anything that we currently don't have. It's supposed to warn us of danger and pain. And that's just a normal human response. I don't like to make decisions based on fear. I like to make decisions based on what I want for the future. And of course, fear is going to be there because it's new and it might be challenging and it might be scary and I'm not sure, right? But if I want something and I'm willing to do it, then I don't make decisions from fear. I make decisions from my future. I look beyond my current discomfort, whatever that problem is that I have right now, or not a problem, but something I need to solve or want to solve. I make decisions based on the future. So like when you're, think about going to college, right? People figure out how to pay for college. Like, if you really want to go to college, there's ways to figure out, even if you don't have the money, right? There's loans, there's scholarships, there's grants, there's all sorts of things that we can do to figure out how to pay for college. The same thing with buying a home or building a home. That's a very uncomfortable process. Getting a loan, finding the money, like challenges, unexpected events, and finances come up all the time around that stuff, and we figure that out. And in both of those situations, it's because we believe in the outcome. We believe that the home is worth it. We believe the education is worth it, and that will pay off for us, right? So we have to have the same mindset around these personal goals that we have, like stopping over drinking. We have to look beyond the current discomfort and just accept that, yeah, there's going to be obstacles. Yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable, but I want that outcome. So I'm going to do this thing. We don't really think about that process as much as we do the other bigger things in our life, right? Because, we typically invest and are willing to go through uncomfortable things because there's some value that we're associating with it, right? There's a value we associate with education. There's a value that we associate with owning a home, or maybe you're investing into a wedding or a big vacation or something like that, right? So we're willing to do those things because of the value that we associate with that. Well, when we think about investing into our own well-being and changing something like that's serious, like stopping over drinking, if you haven't been able to do that on your own, you have to be willing to look past the current discomfort you're in and be willing to invest for that future that you want. Okay. And then you have to hold on to that vision so hard, and you have to be willing to fight for it every day. No matter what happens, no matter how often you have to pick yourself up, it's worth fighting for. But you got to be able to see the vision clearly. So that's why I want you to do that exercise of writing down what it is exactly that you want. See it clearly. Write out from morning till evening what you're doing, how you're feeling, what you're experiencing in a day that you're not thinking about drinking. You're not beating yourself up because you drank too much. You're not wishing that you did the work that you promised yourself you would do around it, right? It's just not existent in your life. Like, what does that look like for you? And it's going to be different for everybody, right? But take the time to do that so that your brain can see that there's an outcome that feels good. And it's not just so focused on the pain and suffering that you're going to have to go through to get there, which isn't the only experience you'll have on the way there, by the way. Like, there's a whole rainbow of emotions and experiences that you'll get to have on this journey, which makes life interesting, I think. It's like, let's make this interesting. Let's learn something new. Let's dig into why we do the things that we do. I think that's fascinating. And the more I learn about myself, which is a never-ending journey, by the way, I'm still learning about myself, It makes me feel interesting because I'm learning about me, and it helps me expand into new territories. It helps me be creative. It helps me think about new ideas, and it helps me be a better coach for you, which I love to do. All right, my friends, look beyond your current discomfort. I hope you have a beautiful week and believe in yourselves. I'm always believing in you. Talk soon. Oh, hey, real quick, I am opening up the Alive AF monthly stopover drinking membership on Thursday. So if you're listening to this today, Thursday, June 27th through June 30th, I'm opening it up for 3 days. So you can join. If you've been on the wait list, if you've been itching for it to open up again, this is your chance. If you're on my email list, you will get an email. And if you're not, you should send me an email at hello@angelamascenik.com, or you can simply go to www.angelamascenik.com/aliveaf. That's /ALIVEAF. And that will be open to sign up and join through June 30th. And then I'm going to close it down again for a while. So don't miss this opportunity. That website that I shared has all the details about what to expect, what it includes, all that good stuff. And don't miss out on having an awesome Alive AF summer. And inside the membership for the whole month of July, we are supporting a dry July challenge. And every day we're going to have prompts, and we're going to have countdowns, and you're going to get extra coaching and support for people who want to take a 30-day break for this summer. And I can't recommend that enough. When I first started changing my relationship with alcohol, I took a long break, and that really helped me work through a lot of things. I got to practice going to social situations and holidays and, difficult things too, and being alcohol free. And it gave me the opportunity to do that deeper work when I just took it off the table. So if you want to come, now is a really good opportunity because you're going to be immersed in it. You don't have to do the 30-day break or dry July when you join. If you don't want to, you're still going to be supported inside the membership with our classes and coaching calls and Facebook group and all the things. So don't let that be the deciding factor if you're on the fence. Another thing, we have 2 spots left for our Seattle retreat at the end of July, first couple days of August. We are going to put the links in here, but check that out. 1 private room left and 1 shared room. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to hike, we're going to swim, we're going to do some forest bathing, we're going to do some yoga and sound meditation. We're doing a writing workshop and a mocktail workshop. It's going to be super fun. So don't miss that opportunity to grab one of those last spots. All right, friends, have a great one. We'll talk soon. I want you to check out angelamascenik.com/aliveaf. You know what it's like to have a desire to cut back on your drinking, right? You start to read books, listen to podcasts, try things, but you might not be able to yet put all the pieces and suggestions together in a way that actually makes sense and works for you. You might struggle with beating yourself up after an overdrink. You might get frustrated with yourself when you take 2 steps forward and then another 2 steps back, and get overwhelmed with what's right and wrong about your relationship with alcohol. Your friends tell you that you should be able to have just 1 drink, and it isn't a big deal. You might be white-knuckling through urges and resisting instead of peacefully processing them. And you might struggle with your identity as someone who has enjoyed having a lot of wine or alcohol in your life. It's around you all of the time. It's what you do and who you are. Well, after 5 years of successfully coaching hundreds of women through these struggles, I have created the Alive AF membership, where women like you can learn the basics on what it takes to cut back and reach your goals with alcohol, whether it is to just drink less or totally quit. And when you join, you will get the exact framework I used to change my own relationship with alcohol and still use today, that has led me to be alcohol-free for over 5 years. You're going to get access to my resources, videos, and worksheets that have been proven to change and reduce how much you drink. Every day you can ask questions, share your obstacles, and get coaching and direct support on the challenges you will face with love and no judgment. Also, you will get immediate access to workshops like uncovering your alcohol identity and changing it, how to say no to things that don't support your new identity or life or goals, aka boundaries. a workshop called Creating Emotional Agency, and another one, How to Manage Your Mind to Succeed at Your Goals, and more. Every month we have a brand new workshop. These workshops are filled with step-by-step prompts and instruction to help you create the exact relationship with alcohol that is best for you. My mission and vision for Alive AF is to be a hub of support and resources for women to come and learn how to do what is best for them and becoming more alive in the process. When you join, you're going to learn how to take care of yourself better, how to feel good and become more alive and go after the life that you really want. I want this membership to be affordable and an easy solution where you can get all the help you need in one simple place whenever you need it. So, no need to go read another book, find a new podcast, attend a free webinar, or go down the path of piecemealing it all together. Join Alive AF and have it all there in one place for you anytime you need it. So, go to angelamascenik.com/AliveAF and enrollment is open right now. See you inside.